So today we're going to be talking about Britney Spears. This video is not going to be the typical uniformed and concise video. It's going to be all over the place, rambling or ranting about many different things concerning the world of Britney post-conservatorship, her Free Britney movement, and some polarizing things that have happened. The first thing we're going to talk about is Britney and her kids. Now this whole thing started once K-Fed did an interview with his and Britney's sons, which by the way I think was such a lowdown thing to do, and it's just so invasive having her sons at such a young age talk to the media about their mother. It also only puts more of a strain on whatever situation that might be happening. You know, it just doesn't feel right and is very distasteful in my opinion. I always feel like matters, especially involving minors, should stay private. With that being said, I also don't like the way Britney responded to her kids, and I don't respect it either. She kind of directly sicked her fans on them, while also very publicly villainizing them as if they aren't the minors. One of the main talking points was that her sons felt uncomfortable with their mom posting nude photos so often, which actually garnered them quite a bit of backlash from commentators and Britney fans. And I don't know why. Britney Spears is literally their mother, not just some public celebrity figure to them. Any and every teenager on the planet would be uncomfortable with being exposed to nude pictures of their parent almost every other day online. Hell, even adults wouldn't be comfortable with it. Not to mention they are in school, and something like this could potentially put a target on their back for bullying. Yes, Britney has every single right to do whatever she wants, but I don't understand why some people act like the way these boys feel is invalid or outlandish, when in fact it's the most normal thing. From the outside looking in, I personally felt like there was a lack of care on both sides with how they handled this situation with their children. Some fans didn't like some of the stances one of the kids made and how they were so pro-dad, but once again, these are kids. They have lived experiences with both of their parents outside of the public eye. And the public does not. Kevin is and has been their primary guardian for most of their lives, so of course they're going to have more receptive feelings towards him. I feel like in this instance a lot of people were kind of treating it like a celebrity feud instead of parents and sons. And that also has a lot to do with Kevin bringing it to the media. However, I feel Britney was extended a lot of grace, a lot of unwarranted grace. In this particular instance, the Free Britney movement. The Free Britney movement has always been a movement that was on a spectrum that generally ranges from people who thought Britney deserved her freedom and other things were at play, to full-blown conspiracists that believe absolutely nothing said or done by Britney, and even some vast claims that she's a clone or something of that nature. Being that Free Britney movement's entire basis started off with skepticism, it was kind of the perfect breeding ground for conspiracy theorists. Personally, I stray away from the conspiracy side, and I guess Britney's lack of transparency or knowing exactly what's going on with her has also contributed to the growth of these conspiracies. She doesn't do any interviews, any sit-downs, she just rambles on Instagram, so a lot of people don't actually know how Britney is doing in everyday life, or the progress she's made, if any. The movement has kind of seemed to transform to majority conspiracy. Now, it's undeniable that there are some things that may feel or look off, but the conspiracy side, like the deepfakes, clone allegations, seem a bit much to me. Britney and other entertainers. Britney appears to have a lot of resentment towards some of her peers or their situation, which to a degree is very understandable. How could you not be bitter or angry to some extent, considering what she's been through? But I also think at times Britney's frustration is misplaced and comes across as minimizing struggles others might have been through as well. She has mentioned people like J-Lo, Christina Aguilera, and others. She also seems to have an alleged one-sided feud with Selena Gomez. She would post her picture over and over with shady captions. There's been speculation that this allegedly stems from Selena telling Britney that everything's going to be okay and that she just wants her to be happy multiple times. This is allegedly something Britney's mom told her, which Britney has alluded to in captions, and it triggered Britney to where she's been going at Selena Gomez for multiple times over on Instagram. Then we have the Christina Aguilera situation where Britney kind of directly took a jab at Christina and her dancers, and then tried to deny it. I don't think Brittany is oblivious to the jabs she takes. Most times her captions when she's angry or trying to be shady, she directly points to it. So I think when people take an issue with it, it is also free game. Brittany's husband. Brittany's husband, Sam Asghari, has received heaps of backlash online, with a lot of speculation if they live together or not, what's his motives, and is he really down for Brittany? Now these type of questions are pretty much inevitable considering Brittany's status, her situation, and Sam just now starting to try to break through in Hollywood. I do think this relationship is beneficial to him, and I think he's very aware of that. But I also feel like there's not much actually known about them as a couple or their dynamic to really know what's going on. It's not as transparent as the K-Fed or Timberlake situation. He has been with her way before the conservatorship ended. I will say their social media lives kind of seem like two separate entities and not really the type of content or lack of content I would expect from newlyweds. But once again, that is only social media. No one knows what happens behind closed doors. But I don't blame people at all for finding him sketchy. It's hard not to. Brittany's rambling. I've seen a lot of people talk about this. Brittany frequently goes on these rants where she starts with one thing and ends with another. They're usually not coherent at all. Her posts in general can come across erratic, which results in even more speculation. And I think this just boils down to Brittany using Instagram as her diary. Sometimes it's even hard to make out what she's trying to say. She recently went off on a Jack-in-the-Box worker for telling her everything is going to be okay after her crying in the drive-thru. That clearly triggered her. It's clear Brittany has a lot of unresolved obstacles, and hopefully she's receiving care for it. Brittany is not going to be the perfect victim, and realistically, I don't think anyone should have that expectation placed upon them. However, I also don't feel that means you can say and do what you want freely without repercussions or getting pushback, and I'm talking about specifically when it comes at the expense of other people. And I don't think infantilizing her to the point where she's seen as if she can do no wrong is helpful. I did not like the son situation at all. And once again, they are entitled to feel how they feel. That is their mother, they actually know the more humanized side of her. So the current Britney situation is all over the place. And I don't expect it to change anytime soon, honestly. But all I can say is I genuinely do hope that Britney Spears progresses into a better place and also isn't so resentful towards other people who have walked through the industry and didn't end up in a situation like hers. I also think if her social media wasn't so jumbled and all over the place, that it would actually help calm speculation down.